Welcome to the After School Writers podcast. I'm Dias.
And that's it, everybody. He's the only one. Slow clap.
Okay,
I'm
Dias.
Sue.
I'm here with. You two want to introduce yourselves, or should I?
No, everybody knows what the fuck we are.
Yeah, we know
Nobody
we
knows
are.
who the fuck we are.
Lid died,
No one
Fallen
watches this
died.
like 20 people watch this, which is
I watch it.
not a bad amount, to be fair.
Our viewership, we love our viewers. They're great. And listeners, too.
Yeah, we love all our 5 viewers.
Yeah.
It's
Even the
like,
people who watch it 7 times to
not
boost
as
reviews.
bad
You're
as
great.
you would think. It's sometimes I check the YouTube, I'm like, holy shit, people, there's people coming back.
Yeah, dude, podcast comes out, there's 30 people.
All right,
It's great.
and
Back to the episodes.
so it's me, Soup, Mex Nico, and we have a special guest with us, Aqua Marina.
Hi, I make
Can you introduce
live
yourself?
video essays.
You
Nice.
make video essays?
Nice.
I make video essays.
Oh, you make video essays.
Yeah.
That's
Please link
good.
them to me. I need to listen to things while I'm at work. That's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get you with the Ari. Ari also writes video essay stuff, but he
Oh,
does
yeah.
it all on Love Live, and all of his takes suck.
So do mine. Yeah, I make a lot of Love Live and sometimes Sailor Moon videos, and
Ooh.
it's at this point I've covered each group at least once outside the
Oh, that's why
VTubers,
my
so I
audio
forget
was.
the name.
I have a fan fucking next to my mic. Holy shit!
Oh, great. I bet your intro audio is going to be fucking amazing.
I'm gonna have to do some noise canceling shit on that. All right, Aqua. Quick question: Sailor
Yes.
Moon in 2023, is it worth watching?
90s anime, absolutely.
Ooh.
Some of the episodes can be a bit rough. If you need to check out a filler guide, start
Oh
with
no,
the first
filler
one.
guides.
The thing is, I really enjoy the filler. Like my most recent video is
Yeah.
actually about how I think the most important episode of the show is the filler episode
Hell
after
yeah.
they introduce Sailor
Love
Mars.
As a
And,
Naruto fan, love that.
Oh, yeah, same, dude. Filler's great.
I
That's how you get all the fucking character development, bro.
Well, no,
exactly.
it's when they goof off and fuck around and nothing important happens. Those are the best episodes.
That is
Exactly.
that is I've been watching Dragon Ball Z with Lid. That has been the Boo saga so far.
The
That kinda
Boo
is
Saga
the
has
Boo
a lot
Saga.
of issues, but that's Dragon Ball plot in a nutshell, though, isn't it?
Yeah, well, what little I know about Dragon Ball, people always say, especially that saga specifically, bro, you could just skip that shit. It's all filler. I'm like, but what if you want the filler? What if you like that? I don't know.
I like the Boo Saga, honestly. I've
I don't
only seen
know.
the high version,
I
but
love the Boo Saga.
I don't know. I sure do love watching 30 minutes of Mr. Satan doing the exact same shtick 5 times in a row.
Well, so the thing about Dragon
What's with
Ball,
Boo?
the thing about Dragon Ball is that it's very much like a show where its strong points are really strong and its weak points are really weak, right? So it's it has
Yeah.
some of the sickest fights in the series. Every once in a while, Toriyama does something super emotional, like blow up Krillin for a 5th time, and it's like, oh shit, the acting really got me in the feels. Goku screaming and he's good at building hype moments, and it's so fun. But sometimes you're like,
How did we get here?
this is dog
We're
shit.
so off topic already.
Hey Aqua, what are you up to these
Talking
days?
about Dragon
You
Ball
writing?
Z and Lid's not even here.
I like Dragon Ball.
Yeah, Dias, ask Aqua who they are and what they do, and
Yeah.
well, I mean, we know what they do, but writing and all that stuff. Who their best girl is? You haven't even
Do
got
you
to
do
that
anything? Are you alive?
Yes,
Can you feel that?
Yeah,
yet.
I'm
Are you
alive.
currently breathing?
I think I'm breathing. I don't know.
You can never tell, truly.
But yeah, I also do fan fiction writing. I'm
Ooh.
Aqua 369 or Aqua Marina 369 on AO3. I mainly write Muse stuff. I've written a couple of Aquas, and it ranges from serious kind of character introspectives where they're questioning their lives to one of the most recent fics is Maki Honoka, Rin, and Hanyo try the Nico, or Nika and Nico try the Grimace Shake and all fucking die.
I was afraid you were gonna say Grimace Shake.
Here's the thing, that was the first thing I wrote, like, start to finish, new, in like 6 months.
Oh my god, dude.
I'd been like poking away at stuff and like I just hadn't like written anything or like published anything, and then just randomly I had the idea and I wrote it in like an hour on my break at work.
I will say, when a crack idea comes to you, that's like, you just, sometimes it just takes you over, and like, yeah, they're the easiest to finish.
They're so fun, is the thing. It's so much
Yeah.
fun. So is it fair to say
Yeah.
that you're primarily in that like short story, like one-shot category as a writer?
Yeah,
And you do all... I'm trying to remember now, because I feel like I always recognize your name, because I'm like, oh, this is the person who's in our very, very, like, not, like, who's always in the safe for work section of our server full of people who talk about not safe for work constantly.
yeah, the closest to a lewd fic I've written is like one where it's like specifically like the morning after Honoka and Umi do something.
Yeah, but that's still like
And-
safe for work, because there's emotions
Yeah.
there, right? You gotta
Held hands, clearly.
Yeah. And then
But
another
yeah, you
is
stick to like the safe for work stuff for the most part.
yeah. I enjoyed playing around with in when the other idol fanfic server does like Promptober events. I've kind of had fun like trying to see how much I can push without like getting in trouble on there.
Mm.
I'm the proud creator
Oh no.
of
Oh,
the
no.
Transcon on Shibuya tag, and the first one was like kind of like a serious, relatively thing about dysphoria, and then the second one was Cuckoo trying to get her to ride Mickey's Dick Smasher. I think I wasn't allowed to actually use the name Mickey's Dick Smasher in that server, so I had to.
It's always like a question though, because like there's a lot of like servers that are safe for work that have to be really aggressive, because there's communities like ours which are like very relaxed on the rules, and when you're relaxed on the rules, people will go places sometimes.
Push the envelope, as it
Oh
were.
god, yeah, I've been on AO3. There's some
Yeah, man.
interesting stuff.
Oh,
All of it
God.
written by Dias.
I respect the hustle.
I try to keep a balance. I try to not just do not safe for work. I try to do. safe
Listen, man,
for
you gotta
work
get the
and-
hits somehow, you know?
That's
They don't
true.
come easy.
Oh god, the amount of difference when you write like a safe for work fic and it gets like 6 hits in like the first couple hours, and you're like, why did I write safe for work? Why
It's
did
so
I should've just
depressing.
gone nasty with it.
I'm just used to that at this point. I think the most I've ever gotten recently in terms of attention is when I wrote a Sailor Moon fic for once. That was
Ooh, is that fandom popping off?
yeah, it's surprisingly active, and
What did you write, like a pairing? Was it a relationship?
yeah, Sailor Moon and Sailor Mars, Rei and
Hey.
Usagi, which they're my favorite ship by far, but they're also like solid third place in terms of Usagi
Aw,
ships.
no.
So-
The rare pair.
Who's the number one ship? Don't tell me it's the dude.
It's Tuxedo Mask.
Oh
It's definitely
no.
the dude.
And
This is
Come
a
on,
show.
man.
I mean, this is a show from the '90s.
Yeah, but like he was always kind of trash. No.
It is a pretty gay show, though. It's the show with cousins.
This
Oh, for
reminds
sure.
me,
That just appeals to the Alabama fan base.
Aqua. This reminds
They're
me. Did you ever
appealing to
watch
the-
Madoka?
The southern market.
I haven't. Part of me wants to, but also I got really sad watching the episode of Sailor Moon where they all die. So I don't know if I'd be able to
Oh
handle.
god, spoilers. If you're watching, if you're planning on watching Sailor Moon,
It's 45
mute
years
your
old at this
podcast.
point. We'll be
Oh
surviving.
no!
The episode is literally called "The Death of the Sailor Guardian," and it's like 45 episodes in at
Man, spoilers didn't
200.
exist in the fucking 90s.
Okay,
That's crazy.
stop giving details. What I was just gonna touch on real quick is that Madoka is kind of famous because at the end of Madoka, there's like years later they did like an OVA where like 4 out of the 5 girls got like married to dudes.
Ah,
Oh, I remember that.
sucks.
Yeah.
The fandom is forever ruined because of that.
Oh
that
no,
sucks.
that is weird. As we discussed in that one podcast episode where we talked about ships and all that, it's like if your ship's not yaoi or straight, you are like subhuman scum in the writing communities or whatever. Like your ships are
She's
always
straight.
down on the bottom. Unless it's Sailor Moon, apparently.
No, Soup, it sounded like you said if your relationship isn't yaoi or straight.
Yeah,
I
like
was
the
about to
ship you're
say,
writing.
I feel like that's not
Oh,
correct.
are you talking specifically for Love Live or?
Oh no, like in anything. You guys remember that podcast we did? Remember with the AO3 ship tier lists and like
Yeah,
Which
one was-
it was like a lot of Yuri and a lot of Yaoi, but there wasn't a lot of straight stuff.
oh what?
Yeah, that's
Wait,
why-
really?
That's why I'm confused as to why you're saying that.
There might be
Oh.
some straight stuff. I know Miraculous Ladybug had like a huge showing.
I thought we were like kind of surprised that all of like there was like a bunch of superhero ones like way at the top, and a lot of them were like straight.
Yeah, I think because we were looking at like the most popular ships on AO3, and it was like, oh, a bunch of these are actually like straight ships, and we were caught off
Yeah,
guard
like
by that.
Superman and Supergirl was like number 4 or something.
Aren't they cousins?
They are cousins, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no!
No.
Oh no!
I'm sure we can mess with the canon somehow. We don't need it.
It's okay.
Yeah, I
It's
guess
an
Unless you're into
AU.
that.
I guess that's the point of being a writer, I suppose. Maybe they're taking their creative liberties.
It's
So,
okay.
Aqua,
Ruby and Dai aren't related in this AU.
It's true. Just pretend.
So Aqua, you mentioned you wrote your Grimace Shake fic in one go, but that's not how it normally goes for you, or?
Yeah, it depends on the fic. There's a lot where like I kind of poke away at them for a while, and I sometimes I get myself stuck in that phase of like I'm gonna polish this up or like add something or blah blah blah, and then I kind of never do. It depends on the fic, honestly. Like sometimes I'll just write everything out in a day, and then like there's one I wrote like in the middle of the night, like back when I was in college, and I had to like spend like the entire next day trying to make it into something
There
coherent.
are days where
That's
I'll have
classic.
that, where
The
I'll
5
be
a.m.
like,
idea.
Yeah, where it'll be like 11 a.m. Not 11 a.m. but like 1 a.m. and I'll be like, oh, I just gotta type this out on my phone because I'm laying in bed and I have this idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've had that so many times.
But I rarely get a full fic out of it. I find for me, right? This might just be my personal experience. Usually when I'm writing, I'm trying to like multitask. Like I'll be trying to like I'll have League of Legends in the background or something. I'll be like watching a game, right? And I'll just be writing. And then like when I multitask, it's like it's not like, oh, I'm doing 2 things at the same time. It's like, oh, I'm writing for a little bit, then I'm watching League for a little bit, then I'm writing a little bit, then I'm watching League for a little bit, right?
Yeah, no wonder you never
I get
finished Fix,
that.
bro.
And
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it could work, but writing specifically, I found that it's really hard to write if you can be distracted.
Yeah, you lose your
Yeah.
train of thought. That's why.
I can't multitask with I can multitask with like my job. I can multitask with like programming stuff. Like if I'm like writing code, if it's like something I've done a million times, then I don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
It's just like do. But specifically for writing, I find that like, at least in hindsight, I think I'm having trouble writing even like really basic stuff because I'm like, oh shit, what was I doing?
Yeah, you need to fucking
Yeah.
league off, dude. Yeah,
I'm
like
not
editing
playing
this
League,
podcast,
to be clear.
I'll fucking, I'll watch
like
like a
I
Twitch
have like a
stream or
game playing in
something.
the background or like a let's play or something, right?
Yeah, that's the ADHD for you.
Yeah, writing is ironically for me like the one thing where I kind of never really multitask with, because like I feel like if I lose that train of thought, then I just kind of forget what I'm doing, and then like I'm not
Yeah.
able to finish it. Whereas like
Yeah.
everything else back in like college, I remember I would specifically put on like DVDs or something of like certain animes and stuff where I knew I could get distracted by it, but I'd go back quickly and like it's something I could have on in the background and not focus on, but I'd still
Oh,
know
like a show
what was
you've
going
seen.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
so
a show you've seen like 100 times or something.
I watched a lot of Dragon Ball and Lucky Star.
Oh, nice.
No, but that's
It's
like that is like League of Legends for me, or it'll be like an old podcast about like Star Wars or something, and it's like, oh yes, I know this podcast. I've watched it a million times.
Yeah.
yeah.
Or have you ever? Do you guys play like? I know Raw plays D&D, and Supreme, you played D&D with us one time. Have you ever?
Yeah,
like,
I played
listened
in
to...
person.
You play in person? Oh, that's so much better.
Yeah, occasionally, yeah.
Yeah. So do you ever like watch like D&D stuff or like listen to like a D&D show?
No, but
I
my
don't.
friend does like all the time.
I legitimately like D&D shows will have like 6-hour long podcasts where they're just doing like roleplay stuff. And I find like
Oh,
at
yeah.
work that's great because I'm like I got 8 hours in the day where I have to turn off my brain and pretend I'm working.
Yeah, I watch a lot of VTuber stuff like during that, where it's just like something that I can have on in the background and
Yeah.
like pretend I'm working.
Yeah, because like when you like this is just like how I do everything is I try to multitask, right? Even
Yeah.
sometimes
But with
like,
writing,
Same.
it's harder though. Like
Yeah.
you need to like you gotta like put on like a lo-fi beats playlist or something and kind of just buckle down if you really want to finish it.
yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
really
no.
gotta focus on it.
Even
Yeah.
like playing games, I'll be in one game and then I'll like have like Pokemon Go on my phone and I'll just like be shaking my leg or something to
Mhm.
like walk.
I've done things where I've like just earlier today I was like in the middle of editing a video and playing Mario Kart online at the same time, so it was like the like minute or two between races. It was like, okay, trim this clip.
Oh yeah. You like we're sort of like kindred spirits, you and I edit this podcast and it's like, yeah, you'll have like a Twitch stream or something on the side, or like you'll be playing like I know I do like a Floor of Isaac and then I'll like go back to editing for like 20 minutes, then
So
I'll go back
basically
to
like
fucking
all of us
playing
are
Isaac,
operating
like-
at 50% all of the time.
Yeah, we're terrible
basically.
people.
Because you
I'm
can't, I don't know, Rob, you haven't said anything. Do you ever try to multitask or?
Sometimes. Like I'll just like put on like a YouTube video, something
what
long.
percentage do you think you're operating at when you're trying to multitask? Is it like 50%, 30%, 70%?
Depends on what I'm doing. I'd say it's like 45%.
Yeah. I think it's our millennial like brains. Like we keep thinking we can do it, and then we're like, it never works as well as you want it to.
Well, because like
You gotta have
no, go ahead.
you gotta have Subway Surfers and Family Guy funny moments.
Oh god, I
Like,
fucking hate that.
stuff.
I hate that so much. So fucking.
Yo, this
stupid.
Making that
podcast
an
boring as
official
fuck.
feature.
Nah, but Soup, you know what she's talking about, right? With the fucking.
Oh, I definitely do. It's like the TikTok thing.
The
It's
right?
the
TikTok
worst
thing.
thing. It's like my brain is already rotting from the Family Guy. Why are you tagging this shit underneath?
Can we put Family Guy funny moments in the top corner of the video of this podcast?
Would it get more watch time? I
Yes.
fucking hope not.
Dude,
Make it
unironically,
short.
probably.
Make it a short. It'll be perfect.
Oh,
I think
God,
unironically, maybe.
that just annoys me.
Or like one
Yeah,
of those like shitty mobile games.
Actually, you know
Oh
what?
yeah,
I'll-
like the
we can
ads
just,
where
like,
like people
put
fart
like I
all
got
the time.
I'll
Oh,
get
I like
3
that.
hours of me playing Genshin, and we can just slap it in the middle of the podcast.
Okay.
You gotta
like
increase that video time.
We gotta
The algorithm
maximize
wants
viewership,
long
bro.
stuff.
Guys, you should, as an excuse, you should just like record like your entire like playthrough of like Genshin for a day and just put it over the podcast.
Tyus, if you do that, I will unironically put that in
It'll
the editing.
cover the entire screen.
No,
Yeah,
I'll make it small.
The way I have it positioned right now with the 4 pictures that glow when we talk, it's like there's not a lot of space between us.
I'll put it in the middle.
Put it in the background. Just still have the icons over it.
Yeah.
All right, Sabrina, that's your job. Good
Okay,
luck.
that's funnier actually.
I'll record some gameplay, sure.
Okay,
We
please
each
do
take
that. That's
turns.
very funny.
We should all just take turns providing gameplay.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yes.
Rob,
That
you do like Yakuza. I'll record my Isaac gameplay or something.
We just have like 4 trains of gameplay going on next to us.
I like that.
We're
And
talking.
Family Guy funny moments.
we'll
Yes.
have it
Maximizing
bottom
watch
right
time for
corner.
sure.
The ultimate algorithm buster.
Yeah,
We
because like,
cracked the
here's
Da Vinci Code.
so here's the like initial thing that I wanted to say was like, when you're like going for a walk or something, right? It's like your brain's doing nothing. You're just walking, and your brain's like just sitting, and it's like, this is boring, right? So you're like, oh, let me watch something or like fiddle around with something just to like activate the mind a little bit. Otherwise, I'm just gonna like fall asleep while I'm walking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or like if I'm like at my job, it's like if I go to my job and I'm like, oh, my headphones are like I forgot to bring my headphones that day. I get really
That's
sad
the
'cause I'm like,
worst.
well, I'm just gonna be
Oh,
understimulated
God, yeah.
all day.
Unironically have driven to my job, which is halfway across the city I live in, and then been like, I don't have my headphones, and then drove all the way back.
I
I'm
have
like,
actually-
I refuse.
You just like quit on the spot?
What's that?
Did you just like quit on the spot? You're like, boss, I can't come in today.
Oh no, I just said I'm gonna be late, and I just leave. Like I'll just say like I forgot my key card or something, and I'm like, and I just completely lie. So
Oh,
I need my
God.
headphones. I'm over it.
What? And it's like you show up 2 hours late to your job. You're like, all right, I'm ready to work.
Oh god, no, it's like a 15-minute drive, but like
okay, you said like across.
Still.
I'm like, God, that'd be.
still though, normal
much for
people
me.
would be like,
No.
just do your job without your headphones, idiot.
Yeah.
But like, no.
If it
Need
was
them.
like a 30-minute drive, I would totally do it. If it was like, so my job right now is 45 minutes from where I live, right? At that
Oh,
point,
yeah,
I'm
that's
just
too
like,
far.
suck it up. Like, you gotta go one
That's-
day without your stimulation.
That's quite the commute, Jesus.
Oh yeah, it
I ended-
sucks.
I ended up buying, I think, a pair of headphones that I keep in like my like file drawer at work. So if I
Oh,
ever
so you don't forget them? Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah, so if I ever forget them, I have a
Yeah,
backup.
I just leave
used-
my headphones at work now. Yeah. It's the
Yeah, you like
exact same
trick your
reason.
brain, right?
I have
I
like a bunch
commuted-
of really shitty headphones that like almost work. They're like you can kind of use them if you get the angle right, but I hate fucking using them. But
Oh, the old like busted pair that you still
Yeah,
continue to hold
I
on.
have like a light blue pair
Yeah.
of like the ones that go way in your ear, and it's like this doesn't really work, but I'll leave it here in case we can try it.
And you're like, I'll fix this someday, and you never fix it.
I, don't know
I
how the fuck to
remember
fix that.
fucking. I remember having like a pair that were like taped together to the wire because they were falling apart.
Oh God.
I only
But you're like,
replaced
these
my
headphones
phone.
are boss. I'm not throwing them out. Fuck this.
Yeah.
I only replaced my phone charger recently, like last night, because I realized there was like metal wire like sticking out in directions it wasn't.
Oh, that's
supposed
the
to
like.
go.
I don't
use your phone
understand
in
how
bed.
people break their chargers, man. Like I just leave it in the night and that's it.
Damn.
Dude, you know what
I
it
don't know
is?
how it happened.
I think I know what I think. I have a theory because my little sister used to do this all the time.
Uh-huh.
You like sit in bed, and if you have your phone plugged in while you're sitting in bed, like the little bottom bit is like wiggling around too much and like bending, and that's what causes it all to fray apart.
Ah, that makes sense.
Well,
I
how is
think
it gonna
that's
like if you're using it while it's charging?
yeah. I don't know. Like I mean, I just say let your phone fucking charge and then pick it up in like the 20 minutes it takes to charge your phone. But like,
Yeah, phones charge really fast nowadays. So like you leave it plugged in for like 10 minutes and it gets like what, like 20% charge.
yeah, basically. Or like you
Yeah,
have like one of those
like-
new fancy ones.
I don't
But I
see the
need to be
point.
reading fan fiction now.
Oh, true. Like reading fan fictions at 4 a.m. in bed.
Exactly. There was one recently. I think it was a K-On! Fic or something, and I got like super into reading, and I think when I left a comment, I was like, yeah, this is the first fic in a while where like reading at like 3 a.m. and I couldn't stop until I finished.
I've
Thanks
definitely
for
been
that.
there.
Your comment should have just said, "You killed my phone charger." Thanks.
No.
10 out
I
of 10.
broke my phone charger because of you, and it's all your fault, author.
Good story. You owe me $20.
You know what? I think I'd take that as a compliment, to be honest.
Yeah, honestly.
I have like because you know there's that thing where it's like, oh, an hour before bed you need to like put down your electronics to get a better sleep, right? I've definitely done that with like physical books where it's like I pick up a book and I'm like, oh, I'm resting my eyes from the technology, so I'll get a better sleep, right? Stay up like 4 fucking hours like reading a book.
Yeah. I never go by the like, yeah, you shouldn't like read for, or you shouldn't use your phone before bed. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, no, I go like straight from my computer to
Haha,
like
yeah.
bed a lot of the times. It's not healthy.
Do you have like good sleep though? Are you able to get like a good amount of sleep?
I mean, depending on the day.
Because we've talked about this.
Yeah.
Like my sleep is fucked.
I feel like it's not related to the screens at all, though. Like, I feel like that's just like I don't know, I stayed up till 5 a.m. last night.
That's just
Yeah.
insomnia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, I do feel like the sleep I do get is pretty alright. It's just like I don't sleep enough. I sleep like 5 hours most nights.
I just
Oh, yeah.
I just can't operate nowadays if I don't get at least like 7 to 8 hours.
That's
Same,
good,
bro.
though.
Yeah, same,
It's like,
honestly.
oh, you're a human.
Like before,
Yeah.
like I could stay up like really late and not get that much sleep and I'd be fine. But I guess I'm just getting old.
I think that's what it is, dude. I know like 17, 18, 19, like I could stay up for like I would work 8-hour shifts on like 4 hours of sleep and be totally fine.
Jeez.
But like nowadays it's if I don't get at least I think I got like 6 hours of sleep last night and I was a zombie today.
Well, Rob, you have like your job is like fucking iron work, right?
Mhm.
So isn't that like really intense on your body? Maybe that's why you need more sleep.
Could be.
Or you're like
Remember-
outside all the time as well, right?
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah, so your body's fucking dying. That's why it needs more sleep.
Yeah.
Because I can survive with like 4 hours of sleep, and I can get to work, and I might be like a little sleepy, but once you wake up, right? I feel like if I was doing something really like I'm on my ass all day, right? I'm like on a computer, so I imagine like it's just less intense, and so I don't need as much like energy, right?
Yeah, you're not making yourself tired through.
Yeah.
Like,
Guys, you're coding. You don't get to fucking you just spend zero energy.
I'm like mentally exhausted, but like the body
Yeah.
is fine.
Good for you.
it's just the
Good for
mental
you,
pain.
guys. You're thriving, buddy. I'm happy for you.
Woo.
Piece of shit.
Boy, am I glad to not be in the fucking Texas heat all day.
Yeah, no.
Take a
I
step
can't
outside,
imagine.
fucking cook alive.
110, like a couple, like I think yesterday.
Oh
That is
god.
fucking misery.
With literally like you can cook an egg.
Yeah.
So sort of getting back on track, I was told that you wanted on this podcast, Aqua, because of you apparently said something along the lines of like, let me on this podcast. I have a fic to shill really badly,
Yeah.
or something along those lines.
And
Yeah.
all of us misunderstood, and we were immediately like, "Oh, she wants to talk about her own fic."
I used to do that too.
And then we checked
wait,
the
is that
author,
not
and we're
that?
like, "Wait a minute."
Yeah,
Oh,
no, it was
Sabrina doesn't know.
so there was a conversation in fanfic hell that was like, what is a fic that like has stayed in your head since you read it? And one of the
It was
there were like a lot of answers.
a
It's
Nico
like-
Maki fic, right?
yeah, it was this fic called I reread it all of it this week.
As you do.
preparation for this. It was pain.
When it's a story you like, bro. No, yeah, I feel that.
Here's the thing, I don't even know if I'd say I like it because it's stuck in my head because it is. I think it is like, no offense to the writer, I think their style is actually incredible, but like it is the single most off the rails fanfic I've ever read. Because like I've read some weird shit like over the years because like obviously there's a lot of weird shit fanfiction, but it's like completely like played straight, and it's like the basic premise is that it's an AU where Maki
do you have the title of the fic?
Yes, the fic is called The Prettiest Girl in the Morgue, and it's the basic premise is that Maki is interning at a hospital while her and Nozomi are in college and like living together, and it's an AU, and then she has to practice working in the morgue of the hospital where she finds Nico's dead body, and she's like, oh, this girl would be cute if she wasn't fucking dead. And then Nico starts getting up and is like, fucking help me, please. So then Maki does the logical thing and takes her home and like tries to operate on her to make her better. She gets back up, and Maki's like, oh god, we gotta hide this from Nozomi, that I stole a body from the morgue. Let's pretend we're dating.
Wow.
As you do.
As you do.
Hey, I'm with a zombie right now. But don't worry about it. It's not important.
This sounds like a dream that I would have.
It gets crazier. This is the.
Well, don't spoil the entire fic. But yeah,
Okay.
so you were saying this fic like especially stuck out to you?
Yeah, it's stuck in my mind because like I started reading it I think like less than like a month after I had watched School Idol Project and really enjoyed it. And this was when I was like first like looking up fanfiction and stuff. And I just like read it all in like a day because I was completely captivated by it. And then the furthest bit, because it's not finished, and I don't think it's ever going to be finished.
No.
I commented kind of asking the author, because they got active recently again on another fic, and I was
That's
like...
always the worst, yeah.
So I was like, hey, I assume you're not going to finish this, but what was the plan? And they never responded. But the amazing thing is that it felt like by the end that nothing had really progressed despite all this crazy stuff happening. Which, like... Okay, so basically, I guess spoilers if you're interested in reading it. But at one point, Ellie shows up, and they find her strangling Nozomi because her parents tried to kill her for being gay, and it turns out that she is the one that killed Nico by stabbing her in the chest like 17 times.
Ooh, what a twist.
Because
That goes hard.
was applying for an idol, like, role, and, Ellie's sister, I forget her name.
It's like, it's not...
Elisa?
It's like
Elisa, yeah.
Elisa.
Elisa. She had also applied for that, and her parents were like, make sure she gets the job. So,
What the
What is this like? What's this like? Fucking Yakuza like?
Dude, I was gonna say,
I know,
yeah,
right?
it sounds like a Yakuza subplot.
here's the thing, this fic is like 50 chapters. This is like 20 chapters in. It gets way crazier.
So
at one point,
is that why you like got caught by it? You were just like, this is stupid,
Yeah.
and I'm into that.
it's like this
You were
weird
like,
thing
oh,
where
this is like
early on...
grimace shake level nonsense, and this is what I live for.
That's the thing. That's the crazy thing. Early on, it's like stupid and crazy, but like I was genuinely into it and like reading like, and again I was like, fuck, I'm getting back into this. I know it's not good. And
Dude,
like,
I hope
'cause
Fallen hears this episode. He would love something like this.
Yeah,
was like-
Fallen is like our long fic writer, and he. Yeah.
She listens to the podcast, you dope. She knows that.
sorry, I genuinely I love really long fics, and I kind of compensate for my inability to write them by most of my stories are like in a series on AO3 where I can just put them in order and stuff, even if I write them like later. And I kind of write with a lot of like overarching stuff, just because it's like I really love like long fics. And
I was gonna
everything.
say, I guess that sort of answers my question. I was gonna say, like, did reading that really early on in like watching School Idol Project or whatever, did that like inspire you to write fan fiction? 'Cause you read
How
this
did
and
you
you're
start
like,
writing?
this is bananas.
No, I had written fan fiction before. It might have been part of me back into it. I read a lot of fan fiction when I got back into Love Live that I like genuinely really liked as well. Yeah, I used to write back in like high school and stuff is when I started, and it initially started when I was a Ruby fan on fanfiction.net, which
Holy.
in that fandom is dark times that we don't talk about.
I think everyone was a Ruby fan for a couple years, and then slowly it petered off a little bit.
I had this moment where like I kind of realized I didn't like the show anymore, and like it kind of
It
I
was
never
very
really
mainstream for a long time.
After season 1.
yeah. No, but like I was like posting on like Twitter or something. I was like, it's shit. It was like, oh shit, what the fuck? And I had friends of friends asking those friends to check on me and make sure it was okay.
Oh my lord.
It was a weird night. But can I explain where the fic goes even more off the rails? Because it does.
I don't want to spoil it for people, but also it's a pretty old fic. I guess if you haven't like checked it out already.
I guess
Okay,
so, yeah. We'll leave the link in the comments for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so basically, Nico and Maki fight because Nico's like, "What the fuck? You didn't tell me I died," and
That's important, yes.
Nico decides she wants to kill herself, and Ellie shows up and is like, "Hey, your girlfriend's on a building," and
Do a flip.
yeah,
Just do a flip.
Maki is like, yelling at her. She's like, "Please, like, don't do
Oh man.
it. I'm sorry. I actually love you." And then Nico's like, "Okay," and then accidentally falls. So Maki, she dies. But then Maki brings her back to life again. And I should mention,
I'm like 90% sure that is a Yakuza sub-story.
I should mention
Someone
that
falls off a building and they die and they get brought back to life again?
Oh, I'm fucking immortal. Fuck this shit. I'll jump off again.
Ellie also dies at one point because she shows up at their apartment, like trying to attack Nozomi because she was shot by her parents for being gay and not getting her sister the job as an idol. And like she stumbles in wanting help, and like Nico hits her over the head with a wine bottle, which knocks her out, and they dump her body.
Like a standard Russian affair.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
I was about
honestly.
to say, yeah, this is very like mobster movie. Like I can totally imagine like Ellie with like a trilby, like, or like a fedora, like, I gotta take you out. It's nothing personal.
It's
That's
nothing
canon Russia.
personable. Stabs Nico in the chest 17 times.
It's just like the intro to Fallout New Vegas, right? She just pulls her out back.
It's Fallout, but
checkered
there's no
suit on.
guns allowed.
God. But yeah, basically Ellie also dies because like they go into the room and they find her and they're like, "Oh God, she bled out. What the fuck?" And then Nozomi's like, "We gotta call the cops." And then Maki's like, "No, we can't.
No,
They don't
we
know
can rebuild
Nico's here,
her."
and she's dead." And then Ellie gets up again.
So is everyone fucking immortal?
Basically, except specifically Ellie's sister, because
Oh,
there's
no.
things go even more off the rails after.
I feel
Because
like if you're Maki at this point, you're like, maybe I should just kill myself just to see what happens.
So maybe she should like make this a business.
so,
Yeah.
she kind of does, because okay,
I
so
mean, hell yeah. How much would you pay to be
after
fucking
Nico
immortal? Sounds like a great
accidentally-
deal.
after Nico accidentally kills herself and Maki brings her back is where the fic starts really going off the rails, because like there's literally a comment that's like, oh, I imagine we're gonna start wrapping up at this point. It doesn't. The writer said it's like we're at the end of 1 now. Arc 2 was never finished, but basically they start fighting again, and I think Nico cheats on her with Honoka, and then Ellie shows up again and is like, we need to get my sister back because my parents are trying to move back to Russia with her. So then they chase her to the airport, fail at getting her back, and then the Voltron immediately crashes, and then they steal. Ellie's like, we need to steal her body, bring her back, and Maki's like, what the fuck?
It's like this it's like this Scooby-Doo fucking, like, tower of sandwiches that's just going higher and higher every...
Exactly.
Shaggy keeps
I wonder if
slapping
this
on
dude just
sandwiches
dropped a
and
bunch of
no one's
acid when he
saying
wrote
no.
this.
Maybe that's why it wasn't finished. Like they couldn't afford the more acid to write it.
They're like, I'm never gonna hit that high again, bro. Sorry.
I mean, like, but this is what happens when you know, this is the difference between, like, when you publish your own works versus, like, you have to get a professional publisher. Because the professional publisher is going to be like, hey, you gotta stop making that sandwich. You gotta rein it in.
What is fanfiction?
It's my sandwich. I could stack as many, like, bread slices as I want.
If I want 100 tier tall ham sandwich, I'm damn well gonna make it.
You're
motherfucker.
crazy.
There's literally a line, I think, where, it's just one of the, I don't know if it's meant to be funny, but it's one of the funniest bits, where, like, Maki's like, oh, we should think about this before we do it, and Ellie's just like, it's so much fun when you steal dead bodies and bring them back, but it's not what I do. So then they do it, and then it doesn't work, she doesn't come back. They carry around her corpse for a while until they finally get Ellie to bury it. But, what also happens is, the running thing in the background where they reference me being, like, a potential Olympic archer, and then, like, she gets into that, and she was also on the and dies, and then Maki's working in the morgue again, and she realizes she's breathing, so then she steals her body as well. And, like, it literally cuts to, like, her. It felt like a joke in a TV show. Like, it cuts to, like, Maki, like, she's like, I can't do this. And then it cuts to her driving. Like, not
I wonder.
Your audio is getting really fucked, Aqua. I don't know if it's like.
Oh, sorry.
I think she's peeking her mic display.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Maybe, yeah.
No, it's no
like,
worries.
But it's like, as you're explaining it, it's like I'm like trying to listen. I'm like, this sounds like compelling storytelling, but also I'm like having to fill in blanks a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was probably laughing and peeking the mic.
Yeah, the brain fills in most of it though, from what I could tell.
Yeah,
I wonder if you could like put this into Chat GPT and like complete the
have it
fanfiction.
like
You know,
God, I
fix
hope.
your audio.
just like feed it the info and then like let it kind of just go nuts. I feel like you could get a decent conclusion out of that. I think.
I guess should I just wrap this?
Conclusion, yeah.
Should I just wrap this up? Because honestly, the ending is the funniest part, where it ends with the fic.
I think that'd be a good bookend.
The non-ending ending.
Yeah. So basically, they steal Umi's body, and because she's like famous, and the security cameras at the hospital caught Maki doing this, they're like, okay, Maki's like, okay, we all need to go run now, and so they hide at Maki's vacation home because no one would ever look there. And they have, there's a bunch of stuff where, like, at this point, the fic starts getting weirdly sexual, where they hadn't been before, because, like, Honoka...
Oh, with this many dead bodies? Of course.
Oh, God.
And I think there's literally a line where Maki thinks, she's like, is this necrophilia?
Oh, God.
Nico had been dead! But basically, Honoka and Nico do stuff, and then Maki sees, and then they fight again, and then Nico's like, I want to make it up to you. So then Maki doms the shit out of her. I think I skipped through it, and then
think
Wait, so it goes
Eventually-
straight up to porn?
yeah,
that's what
basically.
it was
At
implied.
like chapter
And-
50, it's like, oh, this is a porn chapter. Congratulations.
Yeah, around like chapter 45 or so, there starts being written
Well, that's
smut.
gonna get banned in schools,
Exactly, and
which is the main concern here.
Dai is skipping to chapter 45, everybody.
so this whole time they're on the run, they're trying to make like Nurse Umi back to health, and then at the very end of the last chapter that's been posted, she gets up and she just casually walks into the room, and like Nico's reflecting on something, and like Umi says something to her, and she's like, "What did you say?" And Umi's just like, "I'm sorry, I said that like you're pathetic and you suck." And then the fic
Oh.
Like,
Hey.
you just say to me, you little shit, and just does the whole it's like what was it like the
top of the class
Marines?
Navy SEAls.
Yeah,
Oh,
the Navy SEAls. There we go.
Umi is
Yeah.
also like 100% the kind of character to just be like, you're a piece of shit, fuck you.
I think she has done that before.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was the
absolutely.
slap episode, right?
Yeah, basically. That
She
is the
tell-
funniest
I
scene
do
in all of
distinctly
Love
remember her
Live.
telling Hanukkah, "You're a dumbass. Shut up."
I think she literally says like, "You're the worst person ever." She's like, "I see you for who you worst
Yeah, it's kinda
person
fucked.
ever." And then the upbeat credits music starts playing.
Dude, I love. Dude, that I don't know if you've been watching the new Yohani anime
Oh,
at all,
so good.
Aqua, but
I've been a
there's
bit.
I think it's like episode 5 or something, or episode 6. There's a moment where, yeah, like it's just like super dark, super edgy. Like, ooh, so there's some foreboding shit going on, and then it's like, and then the
and, like,
end music starts playing, and I'm like, oh, okay.
The
That's
show
like-
is intended to be slice
Yeah.
of life, so it's like the music is really chill and happy, and it's like,
Yeah, episode 5 is the one that ends where like the fucking void, whatever darkness like descends.
Yeah, the
on, like,
lightning
Johanna's
strike or whatever.
Stage.
Yeah,
They
and
should
then
have
that just
done
happy
that.
music after. I'm like, okay.
They should have done that little little in between episode, like not the episode, but like the little cutaway at the halfway point. They should have done that whenever like Mario was having her realistic depiction of a panic attack.
Oh yeah.
The thing of like Lilaps like staring at the screen as she walks past.
Yeah, like a skinwalker or something, just like.
It'd be totally
funny.
consistent with that show, honestly.
I really
Yeah,
like
a little bit.
But to go back to the written works, so like, is that like the only long fic you read, or do you mostly read like long
Oh, no.
fic stuff?
I read a ton of long fics.
It's just that one was like especially like
Yeah,
memorable in your mind,
that one. It was
which
like
I
all
can
the other
see why.
all of the other examples I could think of stuff that like stuck in my mind were fics I like really like my or like enjoy like wholeheartedly. Like my favorite honestly written thing ever is a Sailor Moon long fic where I actually
Mm.
got in contact with the author even though
It's
she
more
like
of- is it
wrote
more
it
of, like,
like
a
20
dramatic
years
thing?
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, partially. It was like a mix of like life and like dramatic, and I really enjoyed it. But this one was just specifically like it stuck in my head, partially just because of how wild it gets, and like the introspective like character writing style is actually pretty good, and like
yeah.
it's really well used, and like even in
Yeah, I was
some more,
trying to think
like-
about like what long fics I've read and like when it really sticks with me. And honestly, a lot of the longer fics are like chat fics, or like it'll be like, hey, here's 20 like ficlets that I wrote, and it's like that doesn't really
Yeah.
count, right?
Yeah, that doesn't really count, honestly.
yeah.
Like chat fics, they're fun and they can be very long, but they don't feel like they don't stay in my mind really, right?
Yeah.
The stories that like really stay in my mind are it's like one, it's like real books, obviously, but then like also like fics with like a lot of drama and a lot of tension and a lot of like introspection, like really serious stories can like. There's only 2 fan fictions that I've read that are like that. But those ones, like when you find like a fic like that, you're like, this is gonna stay with you forever. It's like shit. It's
Yeah.
so good.
I think the ones that are like that for me specifically are like the ones where each chapter sort of feels like an episode of a show, like an episode of
Yes.
like an anime.
Oh god,
Those
yeah,
are the
and
ones
it's
that
like
stick with you
it's
the
moving
most.
in
Like those ones that have like the
phases.
pow punch, kind of like the start and the end, the start and the end for each chapter.
Yeah, no, 100%. Because I'm like thinking about like what made those fics so memorable. I think a lot of it is like impact in the story, right? Like
Yeah.
characters doing something and then boom, like the whole story changes from that point, right?
Yeah. The Sailor Moon one I was mentioning, like that's a big part of that one is like stuff building off each other, and like my favorite part of it probably is a subplot where it's like 2 of them are dating and like kind of like hiding their relationship, and like really early, like one of my favorite parts is that like really early on Venus and Pluto kind of have a like they're like talking about like in respect to the other characters of like, oh, like do you think life is
You
fair
like
and
the
all this stuff.
introspection of it. You like the like self-reflecting like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that for sure. Yeah.
And like they call back to like a really early conversation like multiple times like really well, and like it kind of plays into like their arc as like a whole, and I really liked that.
Yeah, those fics are so fucking good.
I respect the hell out of like all fic writers, but like long fic especially, like there's some really good ones out there.
Yeah, because you know the dedication that goes into it, right?
Yeah.
Well, I know at one point Rob was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna write a long fic." I don't know how the progress on that is going.
That shit hard, bruh.
It's
I'm
so
trying to
hard.
write it as we're like talking.
Are you like updating it? You're like, "Oh man, I gotta get back to this."
I update like a paragraph at most.
Yeah, dude, the multitasking, hell yeah.
Oh yeah. Like I said, I really want to be able to write that sort of thing someday, but like,
Hey, absolutely. I say just.
I think it's all
try for it,
practice,
right?
honestly. Like you definitely need to
Yeah.
trial and error a lot of shit per chapter, and then do
Yeah.
that multiple times. It's a tough process.
You just throwing stuff out at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Well, I think
Basically, and then,
also,
like-
though, like
I know, like it's a lot of like writing and then deleting a bunch, and then writing and then deleting a bunch, and then once you get kind of like a flow, then you can kind of start burning out multiple chapters. But yeah, kind of like back to what we were saying earlier, where it's like keeping focus. It's sort of like you need to keep focus on the story and not kind of try to like not like lose yourself in it, because then it once you get too many plot threads going different ways,
Yeah.
it sort of deters you.
but
You
I
you
guess-
need to keep yourself like wrangled in, basically.
Yeah, I would
Okay.
also say like if you have like something you want to write, some intense moment, you can do a short story. You don't have to do a long fit to have like meaning and introspection and like have like action, right?
Oh, 100%. That's actually kind of part of how I write currently, because
With the grimace shit
The-
chick.
yeah, basically, but like literally that it's I just have them under a bunch of fics. At this point, there's 24. It says, and I just title it as Love Live Later, and it's like just
Nice.
the muse characters
Nice.
after they graduate and
Build your own
A
canon.
fri-
Fuck this shit.
yeah, basically, a friend of mine has taken to calling it the struggling artist AU because eventually it's like Nico and Hanyo are idols, and like Rin ends up becoming both of their managers, and like Honoka opens a YouTube channel, and like Maki's a freelance musician and stuff, and like
I feel like I've heard of this series, or I've at least seen it.
wait,
Actually,
really?
like I'm pretty sure I've had it like bookmarked.
I read a lot of Love Live, and like I've like come across some of these for sure.
The title
Thank you.
sounds familiar to me. I don't know why. I feel I
Oh, are you talking
my
about
brain is
Prettiest Girl in the
terrible.
Morgue? Oh no.
Sorry, what did you say? You
Wait,
were very
what?
quiet.
Everyone died for me. All right. Well.
Yeah.
Oh,
We should wrap up.
Yeah,
Things
This
sorry
was
for
good.
derailing this so much. If I
oh
did.
no, hey, the whole listen, our whole podcast is getting derailed and shit. This was great.
This wasn't derailed at all. This was very on topic for once.
Yeah, I was gonna say actually, like of all of the
This is
podcasts we've
supposed to
ever
be
recorded, this might be the
ostensibly a
most
writing
straightforward we've ever
podcast.
done.
Yeah, we actually talked about writing.
Yeah, I feel like we've actually motivated people in this very podcast to actually write. It's kind of
Yeah.
sweet.
Leave a comment if you thought about writing after listening to this.
Yeah, if you are now motivated to write or want to now write a long fic because of this podcast, because of all this weird shit we talked about.
All right, we're gonna leave links to Prettiest Girl in the Morgue in the description. We'll also link Aqua Marina. What did you say it was? Aqua Marina 369 in the description.
Yeah, that's what I am on AO3 and YouTube.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely link your YouTube as well.
I do want to
Thank
ask
you.
because I know Supreme. Do you do the thumbnails or is that Lid?
Lid does the thumbnails. Do you want her
Do
to
you
make them more
want,
clickbaity
an
or what?
Umi in the thumbnail?
Put a circle on it.
Yeah, can we put a circle around? Can we get a picture of Nico pogging or something and put that on
Can
there?
we get her Woj, fucking
Well,
soy jack
I'm looking
pointing?
at your Discord
Oh,
profile. And
I'm
it's
making that
Umi.
when I go home. Yeah, that's happening.
All right, so I guess your episode is gonna be Nico pogging.
Yeah.
We can do Nico pogging, or would you prefer Umi pogging? Because that's your profile
Yeah,
picture.
your profile picture is
Sure. Sure.
That's the idea of Umi pogging.
You're-
It sounds
you're
really
talking
gross.
about how Umi ends
Okay,
the story.
I got it.
does.
Hang on. I got the thumbnail. It's Umi pogging at small Nico, the little crusty small Nico.
Yes,
We'll hire an
please.
Yeah.
artist.
I'm down.
All right, thanks for
Yeah,
watching.
sounds
Bye.
good.
Yeah, thanks for coming, Aqua.
No problem. Thanks for having me. I've been a fan of the show for a while, so it's
Aw, thanks.
pleasure
We
to be
appreciate
on.
it.
Hell yeah. We appreciate you listening.
We appreciate it, and I'm sorry.